Praise the name of the Lord. Well, thanks for joining me again today as we're continuing our study in the book of Revelation. There's a song that I remember that we used to sing back in the day. Isn't the love of Jesus something wonderful? Wonderful, wonderful it is to me. And here we are in Revelation chapter 10, verse 1. It says, Then I saw another mighty angel. So just recap a bit. We looked at the seven churches, we looked at John's vision of heaven, we looked at the seven seals, the seven trumpets, and now there's sort of an interlude between the sixth and the seventh trumpet. And he says, I'm seeing this mighty angel coming down from heaven. Not just an angel, but a mighty angel. In fact, some people when they read the description as angel would think that, well, this is talking about Jesus. I'm not so inclined. But here's this mighty angel, and that's telling us also that not just they are angels, but they are mighty angels, seeming as if they are ranks. Just as is in the satanic kingdom, you have principalities and powers, rulers of darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. So in the kingdom of God, it seems as if, well, you've got a hierarchy of angels too. So there's this mighty angel coming down from heaven, wrapped in a cloud, with a rainbow over his head. And his face was like the sun. Face was like the sun. His legs like pillars of fire. He had a little scroll, not a big one, a little scroll, in his hand. It was open. He had a little scroll open in his hand. This was not sealed. It was open. And he set his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land. And called out with a loud voice, like a lion roaring. When he called out, the seven thunders. When he called out, the seven thunders sounded. So, seven seals, seven trumpets. Now we've got seven thunders. As he called out with his loud voice, there are these seven trumpets, seven thunders rather. And when the seven thunders had sounded, I was about to write. So John started to write. But I heard a voice from heaven saying, seal up what the seven thunders have said. Seal it up and do not write it down. So this tells us that, well, it's not everything that he was allowed to write. Remember Paul, when he had his vision in 2 Corinthians 12 and 4, when he was taken up to heaven, he says, I heard things that cannot be told, which man may not utter. So there are things that he couldn't have spoken about. So there are certain things that God would tell us that we need to keep secret. And here, John, even though he's given a revelation about the end times, this time he said, okay, no, don't you write this down. This is for you personally, but you're not to record. This is not for other people to know at this time. Now I hope in the last days no false prophet comes up and says, oh, the Lord showed me what these seven thunders are. You never know. Those things can happen too, right? So when the seven thunders had sounded, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven saying, seal up what the seven thunders have said. Do not write it down. Let's continue. It says, and the angel whom I saw standing on the sea and on the land raised his right hand to heaven. He raised his hand to heaven and swore by him who lives forever and ever, who created heaven and what is in it, the earth and what is in it, and the sea and what is in it, that there would be no more delay. There will be no more delay. But that in the days of the trumpet call to be sounded by the seventh angel, remember the seventh trumpet is still to sound, the mystery of God would be fulfilled, just as he announced to his servants, the prophets. And we'll talk about this tomorrow as we'll continue to ponder on this verse number 7. What's the mystery of God that he announced by the prophets? Lord bless